Hello there and welcome to BBC News. An urgent manhunt is underway after a father abducted 3 boys from their foster home in South London. 6-year-old Bilal Safi and his brothers Mohammed, Ebrar Safi and Mohammed Yaseen Safi, aged 5 and 3, were taken from a house in Coulsdon on Thursday the 20th of August. Detectives are looking for 26-year-old Imran Safi, who is said to have threatened the foster carer with a knife. Well, let's talk now to our correspondent, McKenzie, who's here with more information. Just what's the background to all this?
Well, Clive, detectives were called last Thursday to a house in South London following the abduction of these 3 young children who were playing in a garden. They're currently being fostered. They're in the care of the state social services. And ultimately, the father turned up unannounced and basically abducted the 3 boys. Now, he held a knife held the foster carer at knife point and then bundled the kids into a red Nissan car and took off with the children. Now, they're aged 6, 5 and 3. We don't really have much detail to why they have been placed into care or where the mother is, but ultimately the father, Imran Safi, took off in this red car, and the police are really keen to trace this red Nissan Qashqai car because they're asking for dashcam footage from members of the public because they need to trace this car to find out where it ended up and where the children are, because ultimately since last Thursday nobody has seen him or the 3 children. Now, shortly after the children were abducted, an all ports alert was issued, meaning that the children's father, Imran Safi's image and details were circulated to all ports and borders. Now, the police say they don't know if the boys have already left the country, and Commander John Saville is leading the investigation.
All right, okay. And I think we're going to hear a clip of one of the officers involved.
That's right.
So as you can imagine, immediately that we get a report that a child has been abducted, we would do all of those notifications to make sure all the borders are aware that we're looking for the people concerned, so in this case Imran and the 3 boys. So any formal exit out of the country should enable that to stop straight away. There will be other ways of getting out of the country, I'm sure, all of which would likely to need a degree of planning. It's hard to say how we think they would have got out of the country if they have, whether or not that was smuggled out, whether or not they've got false documents. We're following all those lines of inquiry, but it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility that somehow they've managed to get out without formal notification through borders.
And it goes without saying, but smuggling them out would be a traumatic experience for those children.
It would be horrific. I mean, even if they are with their father or other family members or whoever, you can imagine it's going to be a very scary experience. Yes, I'm sure.
The latest from the Metropolitan Police there says the suggestion, Greg, is that others were involved and that there was a level of planning and sophistication involved in this abduction.
Well, that's right, Clive. So 8 individuals have been arrested and released on police bail. Now, they are believed to be friends and acquaintances of 26-year-old Imran Safi, the father. They've all been released on bail and the police are furthering inquiries. But ultimately, it's the safeguarding issue really around these boys and possibly the traumatic experience of being potentially smuggled out of this country.
OK, Greg, many thanks. McKenzie, our correspondent there.